Greed. Greed can do anything to a person. And when that greed is for money, something crazy is bound to happen. One of the Indian cricket team's captains, who has led India in 3 World Cups, suddenly gets banned from cricket by the BCCI because of match fixing. That player, who is the idol of many people and a revolution in cricket, suddenly becomes the enemy of his own fans. Along with that, the BCCI also banned some other players. I think this is a very bad and third-class statement. On November 27, 2000, Ajay Jadeja, Mohammad Azharuddin, Manoj Prabhakar and Ajay Sharma are accused of match fixing by the CBI. Although this was the first time in Indian cricket, match fixing had already started in international cricket. But how did all this happen? And how did all this start? Accused of match fixing. If you see the CBI report, they didn't get a clean sheet. Somebody spoiled my life. September 3, 1994. Australian team comes to Pakistan to play 3-test match series. At that time, Pakistani team's captain Salim Malik meets Australian bowler Shane Warne in his hotel room. And there they offer him $276,000, basically to fix the match. He said that if the Pakistani team loses the series in their own country, their houses will be burnt. $200,000 cash. If you just bowl wide above stump, don't try and get us out. We'll let the ball go. Match will be a draw. What the F***? And at the end of this series, Shane Warne tells this whole conversation to the team management and coach. And after this, there's a huge uproar. The whole world knew about this incident. And ICC had put a lifetime ban on Salim Malik, although a Pakistani court had removed this ban in 2008. But PCB and ICC didn't take the responsibility of removing this ban. 3 years after the 1994 incident, i.e. in 1997, there was talk of fixing the match again. And all this happened because of India's former player, who was later banned as well, Manoj Prabhakar. In 1997, allegations were made against Manoj Prabhakar that he was offered 25 lakh rupees in 1994 to lose a match against Pakistan. And later, some sources revealed that the person who offered money to Manoj was none other than the legendary player Kapil Dev. Well, only Manoj Prabhakar knows how true and false this is. Because of this incident, there was a lot of uproar regarding fixing. And finally, that series came, which gave a final full stop to the match-fixing scandal. That series was India versus South Africa. In the year 2000, India and South Africa's series was about to start, and it ended in March, a month later. During this time, a lot of people from the underworld were also involved in cricket, like India's most wanted criminal, Dawood Ibrahim, Kota Shakil, and etc. And because of this, match-fixing was not an ordinary match-fixing. And that too in a country where cricket is seen as a religion. Fast forward to the series. South African team defeats India in a test series at their home. It is still difficult for the Indian team to defeat them in a test series at their home. But that time was also difficult. For our reference, you can assume that before this defeat, India lost a test series at their home against Pakistan in 1987. After the tour ends, it is reported that South African captain Hunxie Cronje, Herschel Gibbs, and Henry Williams are involved in match fixing. These 3 players got a deal. According to that deal, Herschel Gibbs will score less than 20 runs. Henry Williams will give more than 50 runs in his 10 overs. And South Africa's team will score less than 270. Gibbs had accepted this deal. But while playing the match, this deal slipped out of his mind, and he scored 74 runs. When he remembered about the deal, then he discussed this with his captain Hunxie Cronje. And after that, Cronje decided that he will give his wicket at a very low price. And something similar happened. Cronje got out early, but South Africa still managed to score 320 runs. And later, Henry got injured while bowling his second over, and he also couldn't complete his deal. He was supposed to get $15,000 for this project, but obviously they failed. After all this was revealed, Cronje was banned from South African team, and Herschel Gibbs and Henry Williams were saved. Although, this thing benefited South African cricket team, as Graham Smith became their captain, who proved to be one of the best South African captain ever. But how were these players caught? April 7, 2000. Delhi Police Crime Branch stated that they have a call recording with Sandeep Chawla, a well-known bookie, and Hunxie Cronje's match fixing. In that statement, Delhi police stated that in those call recordings, who will play in the match, who will win the toss, and who will score how many runs. And the same things used to be true in the match the next day. Delhi police came to know about all this in the mid-series. But they didn't reveal all this, because then they would have to stop the series in the middle. This caused them a loss as Sanjeev Chawla was removed from their hands. 4 days before the final ordeal, Sanjeev Chawla went to London. And along with Cronje, other South African cricketers like Herschel Gibbs, Nicky Bowe, and Peter Stridham were also named. Initially, both South African Cricket Board and Hunxie Cronje denied any kind of involvement. But a few days later, they released a statement that Hunxie Cronje was involved after he confessed to the team coach that he took $10,000 to $15,000 as bribe from British-based bookies to share confidential information related to the match, but wasn't involved in any kind of match fixing. After all this, a committee was formed, which was led by Edwin King. And a few days later, Gibbs admits that he was offered money by Cronje to score less than 20 runs in Nagpur ODI match. But he scored 74 runs in that match, due to which he didn't even receive that amount. He also took the name of Henry Williams, because he was too offered money to concede more than 50 runs. But he got an injury in his shoulder, due to which he couldn't complete his spell. Few days later, Hunxie Cronje himself revealed all his contracts with bookies. This was a big reveal, because he also revealed the money he received from bookies. And in all this, it was found out that he was getting this money from 1996. I was not honest, and I apologize unreservedly. Hunxie Cronje also revealed that Mohammad Azharuddin was the person who introduced him to a bookie named M.K. Gupta. And from there, things started for Cronje. The committee declared Cronje guilty and banned him for a lifetime. And Herschel Gibbs and Henry Williams had to endure a 6-month ban. If we look at this incident from the perspective of the Indian side, then it was already something that no one had even imagined. And that was the name of Indian captain Azharuddin in match fixing. Few other names were also involved with Mohammad Azharuddin, including Ajay Sharma, Manoj Prabhakar, and Dr. Ali Irani. However, during the investigation, evidence was also found that Ajay Jadeja was also involved in this. But Ajay Jadeja clearly refused to accept all this. No time in my career have I been involved in match fixing as defined in the CBI report. Ajay Sharma, the one who introduced M.K. Gupta to Azharuddin, and along with him, Mohammad Azharuddin. Both of them were banned for a lifetime, while the rest were banned for a short time. Azhar and M.K. Gupta's name is mentioned in the match fixing in June, and this entire case is transferred to the CBI. M.K. Gupta refuses to tell anything to the CBI in the beginning, but after a little pressure, he tells all the secrets one by one. In 1988, M.K. Gupta aka Mukesh Kumar Gupta was a normal bank officer, who used to do his job in the bank hours, and in the remaining time, he used to invest money in small cricket matches. For example, local matches and domestic Ranji matches. Underworld is also involved in all these. And Mukesh is also asked to go to see local matches. Underworld basically asked Mukesh Gupta to select players for these matches, who could be useful in match fixing. M.K. Gupta later tells that the first cricketer that he approached was Ajay Sharma in late 1980s. Ajay Sharma was a talented player, but he belonged to a very poor family. That means he was the right player for M.K. Gupta to execute his plan. And as soon as he approaches, M.K. Gupta becomes Ajay Sharma's kind of friend. And he also gives him 2,000 rupees as a token of appreciation. Later on, M.K. Gupta also helps Ajay financially. In the year 1990, Ajay Sharma gets selected in the Indian team for the New Zealand tour. Mukesh further said that Ajay used to provide him a lot of information through calls about the weather, pitch, match composition, and etc. But Ajay Sharma tells in his statement that he himself, but his tour's roommate Manoj Prabhakar used to give him all this information. This appears unlikely because Manoj Prabhakar had no direct link with M.K. Gupta, and his talks with Mukesh were always on call through Ajay Sharma. And later on, Ajay Sharma also introduces Manoj Prabhakar to M.K. Gupta. Actually, after Manoj Prabhakar's upcoming England tour, Maruti Gypsy was also required with a white tire. And Mukesh Gupta had promised that if he would introduce him to Sri Lankan player Arvind Adil Silva, then he would get that car. And later on, something like this happens. In CBI's inquiry, it is found out that Mohammad Azharuddin's girlfriend was doing a fashion show. and for that, he needed a charity sponsor. In response, Ajay Sharma says, in Delhi, Ajay Sharma had M.K. Gupta's meeting with Mohammad Azharuddin, and there, M.K. Gupta agreed to give him 1 crore. And why shouldn't he agree? When the team's captain is in his hands, no bookie would want to miss that opportunity. And as per CBI inquiry, Mohammad Azharuddin says that he will tell the exact match that which India will win and which will lose. And he got 50 lakhs advance for this deal. And along with this, M.K. Gupta says that Mohammad Azharuddin had confirmed that India will lose the 1996 Titan Cup. And as Mohammad Azharuddin being the captain of Indian team, he was accepted at that time. And according to that, money was invested in the match. As soon as the match started, Azharuddin scored 1 run and got out. And after a while, Ajay Jadeja also got run out. India was on the verge of losing that match. But Sachin Tendulkar alone wins the whole match. This is a big loss for the bettors. CBI had also called Sachin Tendulkar for inquiry. And there, Sachin reveals that, and he suspected that he was involved with some bookies. Later, when Sachin was asked that in the 1994 India versus West Indies match, Manoj Prabhakar and Nayan Mongia were playing slow, without any reason. What was the reason? Then Sachin tells that he was the vice-captain of that match. And he was completely clear that no instruction was given for them to play slow, because of which Sachin got very angry. And after the match, he stopped talking to them. After some time, Mohammad Azharuddin was also called for CBI inquiry. Initially, he refused to accept all this. But when CBI showed proper billing details, property transactions, and also said that M.K. Gupta is also present in the side room. So if you want, you can confirm with him. At that point, Mohammad Azharuddin accepted that they were all involved in match fixing. And it is also revealed that Mohammad Azharuddin, Manoj Prabhakar, and M.K. Gupta had kept a separate locker in Taj Hotel for the money they used to win. And this was confirmed by Taj Hotel management staff and M.K. Gupta himself. After all this, Azhar is completely banned from cricket by ICC. Hunxi Kranj appealed against his punishment, but his appeal was rejected in October 2001. He later died in 2002 in a plane crash. CBI submits a 75-page final report to the Union Minister, the outcome of which is that BCCI declares Ajay Jadeja, Nayan Mongia, and Ajay Sharma as culprits. Ajay Jadeja's name was involved in this because Ajay Jadeja also used to give match information to Ajay Sharma through call recordings. But there was a twist. Because of CBI's report, BCCI had declared all these players as culprits. But there is no law on match fixing in India yet, because proving match fixing in front of the court is not that easy, especially when there is no punishment-oriented law on it. That's why they were not going to be jailed in the court. But BCCI took full action and banned all the players. The reaction of cricket lovers on this incident was quite mixed. On one hand, India's major 90s players were moving away from the team and the journey to become Ganguly's grandfather was about to begin. On the other hand, Indian fans started hating the team because the players who used to be the role models of many Indian fans had broken the hearts of their own fans, which was quite unacceptable. The Indian team, which had played 2 semi-finals in the ICC tournaments from 1992 to 1999, and the same Indian team had played 3 finals from 2000 to 2003. That means there was a good transition in Indian cricket. But even after this, the case of match fixing came out in 2013. But we will talk about that in another video. Thanks for watching.